A tall man stood in the National Cemetery. Graves and people stretched before him. The words he was about to speak would be revolutionary. America was a nation bitterly divided, in conflict over the future of millions of black throats in the South, begging for freedom. Addressing the crowd in short tones, using just a few words, he would try to sum up the whole affair and move the nation forward in the epic, bloody struggle. He spoke.
As we maintain the vigil of peace, we must remember that justice is a vigil too. A vigil we must keep in our own streets and schools and among the lives of all our people, so that those who died here on their native soil shall not have died in vain. 100 years ago, the slave was freed. 100 years later, the Negro remains in bondage to the color of his skin. The Negro today asks justice.
Vice President Lyndon Baines Johnson stood in the National Cemetery in Gettysburg in May of 1963 and spoke to a crowd gathered at the rostrum. It was Memorial Day, but the speech he delivered was revolutionary.
Americans, white and Negro together, must be about the business of resolving the challenge which confronts us today. Our nation found its soul in honor on these fields of Gettysburg 100 years ago. We must not lose that soul in dishonor now on the fields of hate.
A century before, another tall, lanky man stood at Gettysburg and begged his nation to persevere. We here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Now, a century later, President Johnson only begged his nation to do the same, begged his nation to defend that new birth of freedom.
The Negro says, now. Others say, never. But the voice of responsible Americans, the voice of those who died here, and the great man who spoke here, their voices say, together. There is no other way. Until justice is blind to color, until all education is unaware of race, until opportunity is unconcerned with the color of men's skins, emancipation will be a proclamation, but emancipation will not be a fact. To the extent that the proclamation of emancipation is not fulfilled in fact, to that extent we shall have fallen short of assuring freedom to the free.